Guys. Sleep Last. Sleep Last is it's just a whole thing. It's just a whole thing. And I don't want to make this video like super vloggy-ish. Because I do think that there's a lot of overall OP goodness to be gleaned from it. But I'm going to be obviously speaking from my perspective because this is my video. That's how this works. Okay. Oh, boy. So what got me thinking about Sleep Last at 10:06 in the morning? What happened? So it actually started at 9:46. Started about half an hour ago, and I decided to make this video because I decided, like an idiot, to listen to Dave and to start doing the thing where the night before you write down 3 things you're gonna do the next morning or the next day, right? It's like, these are my 3 tasks. This is what I have to get done today. And that's all that I have to do. And then the next day I do 3 more things. And the day after that I do, right? Slow incremental build over time. Okay. So I'm like, okay, you know what? We're going to start calm. We're going to be real chill. We're going to not overexert ourselves, right? Because again, I got a lot of energy. I do stuff. And so the three that I got, right, I'm trying to follow their model of like, keep it simple, keep it achievable, like keep it real low stakes. Okay, great. So the 3 things that I wrote down were unload the dishwasher, because I had done the dishes last night, had a bunch of dishes in there. So like one of my tasks, I had to unload the dishwasher, right? The other one was take out the trash, right? Take out the garbage. I got garbage can right there, starting to get full. And I was like, oh, okay, great. I got to take out the trash. I got to go down the hall. I got to put it in the garbage chute and, put the new bag back in. It's not a hard task, but there's a couple of steps to it. And then the third one is I had to go buy groceries, right? So it's not that I dislike driving, but I don't love parking, and I love walking. Like I love walking. It's stupid high. It's gonna get to like 97 today. Like not messing around with that. But I will. I'll go for. I would say that on a light day of walking, if I'm doing a light day, 6 miles. I'm walking 6 miles. Today was like an extra light day, and I did 4.5. A normal day is 10, and a big day is 15. I love walking. Love it. So I was like, all right, I got to walk to the grocery store. It's like it's like, 3/4 of a mile away. So I need to go there, get all of my groceries, get a bunch of vegetables and the meats, and I got it right. And I was like, all right, that's like a good activity. That'll take me a good, 15 minutes to walk there, probably a good 20, 30 minutes to like shop and do the thing. And then I have to walk back with my groceries. That's a little extra. All right, that's like a task. And then of course, like I have to put away the groceries. Like there's multiple steps to all of these things if you really break it down. And they all are part of the same task. Like I can't just, all right, come home and I'm just going to set the things on the counter. And then I've just wasted $60 because I didn't fucking refrigerate my chicken, right? So this morning I was like, all right, great. I get up pretty early. I get up, I go out, and I go to buy the groceries. The grocery store was open, but the deli section wasn't open yet. So I was like, fuck, all right, great. Let me just like walk around, get some fresh air, check my emails, called my mother. It was great. I get back to the grocery store around 8, buy the groceries, do the things, and then I get home, put the stuff away. I was like, oh, I had some bacon left over. I was like, oh, I'll make some bacon, cook it up. And I was like, you know what? While the bacon is cooking, I can unload the dishwasher. Great. yeah, that's chilling. Let me unload the dishwasher. I'm doing the things, keeping an eye on. All right, I gotta turn it now. Let me keep unloading the dishwasher. And then I was like, all right, great. That's cooking, whatever. Finish cooking the bacon, start to munch on it, finish the bacon. And I was like, you know what? I can just take out the trash right now. So I did. So I went, I took out the trash, and then I was like, it is 9:46. I have completed my list. Well, shit. That's not the part about Sleep Last that sucks. That's the part about Sleep Last that's fucking awesome. That when people talk about like, God, I wish I were Sleep Last, that's what they're seeing. They're seeing the like, let's just fucking knock it out. And especially, I'm even crazier cranked up with the Sleep Last because I have the masculine SE double activated combined with TE play, or combined with the TE double activated to make the double activated Savior play. Let me break that down again because I do think this is important. When we're talking about Sleep Last, that means that you have Savior play. Now, some people have play first and Sleep Last. Someone like Tony Robbins, Chelsea Handler, Gary Vee. That is not necessarily the case. There are also lots of other Sleep Lasts who have either consume first or blast first. But regardless, having Sleep Last by definition means that you are Savior play. Whether you have play first or play second, you are play above sleep, which means that you have it, first or second, which means it is a Savior. Now, if you are Sleep Last, it means you are double activated on your DE, in my case, TE, and your OE, in my case, SE. Great. So that's sort of like the basic building blocks of what Sleep Last looks like from like a mathy partsy perspective. Okay. So I got TE and SE. One thing that I talked about in my typing video over 2 years ago, still true to this day, and is something that Shan noticed in me as well. She's the one who sort of pointed it out. Is I was like, you know what? Because I was having these like NF sleep struggles. I was like, what do I want? What do I want? Who? I'm like, is that Kung Fu Panda? Who am I? God damn it! Now you got me thinking about Kung Fu Panda 2, which is just like heart wrenching. It's beautiful. That to me is like totally big Sleep Last energy. I think that he's coming to it from an IP angle rather than an IJ angle like me, but still, Kung Fu Panda 2, so good. Anyway, that aside, but he's very like, who am I? What do I want? What do I want to commit to? That kind of energy, right? So I was talking to her, to them about this, my videos, and I was like, I know that if I had a direction, if I had a thing to focus on, I could just knock it out. And she was like, yes, you would, because holy hell, the guy can move. Like, he can. You want to talk about dominating the outside world? That is a thing that you can do. Congratulations. And when people see Sleep Last, they see people like me, they see people like Gary Vee, they see people like Tony Robbins. We see a thing, it's the energy of like putting unload dishwashers, buy groceries, and take out the trash. We look at that list and we're like, great. So what do you want us to do at 10 o'clock when everybody else gets to work? Right? Like, and that's where it sucks. And I mean, you get a lot of burnout really, really easily, really, really quickly. Because again, I'm going to get to the part where it sucks. It is extraordinarily useful to have Sleep Last when there are a finite number of tasks that you don't want to do that you can just fucking like get it done, right? Super easy. Awesome. When it comes to shit I don't want to do, I am so good at doing shit that I don't want to do. Like it's actually one of the reasons why I have to not listen to Gary Vee or to like really heavily filter it, because what he's not talking to other sleep lasts when he's saying the stuff about like, you know, eat shit for 2 years so you can eat caviar for the rest of your life, right? Like, get it done, grit through it. I know it sucks, but you just gotta do the work. I need to actively not listen to that part of what he's saying because he's not talking to me, right? I need to listen to the Gary Vee when he's preaching his demons about like, you got to take the time to really understand your truth and know what you want and know who you are, because the world's going to pull you in a million different directions, but you got to have that anchor for yourself. That's the shit that I need to listen to Gary Vee about, not the stuff that goes viral where he's, you know, doing that David Wong 6 harsh truths that'll make you a better person kind of shit, right? I don't need to hear that. Because if you tell me that I gotta like, I remember when I was working for my tutoring company, there was a lot of shit we had to do administratively, like to clean up, do the stuff, right? I was so good at that. When it was like, hey, we gotta like clear out this room with all this shit in there. And I was like, all right, I guess that's what we're doing now. Cool. Fucking put the gloves on, lift it. Like, I guess that's just what we're fucking doing. I don't want to do it. I would much rather do tutoring things, you know, academic stuff, structural stuff, mentoring stuff, coaching stuff. But guess what? This is what needs doing. So guess that's what we're doing. Boom. Done. Sleep Last is really good for that. And again, my particular brand of Sleep Last, which is TE and masculine SE. Again, I'm just going to keep, like, I'm going to keep going back to this energy because, like, that's what double activated play in varying manifestations does. That's what it's good at. That's why it dominates the outside world. Here's why it sucks. Because I look at this list and I immediately think, wow, I fucking suck. You're like, wait, will you? Time out. Put on the brakes. I'm sorry, what? Because here's what happens. Because I look at that list and I immediately feel bad that I didn't make a longer list. I feel bad that I set the bar too low. I feel bad. It's like, wow, good job, Raja. You did 3 completely mundane tasks that are impossible to fuck up, basically, with any amount of effort. Good job, golf club. Like that's where my body and brain viscerally wants to go, and I have to pull myself out of that. I have a very good friend that I talk to all the time. Her name is Amanda. She's wonderful, and she has been so good at, like, she is double activated on her NIFI sleep, right? We complement each other like that. And she is the one who like routinely pulls me out of that. And is like, nope, you do not get to go to that place. Absolutely not. And I'm like, you right. Thank you, Amanda. You got this. But that's what happens is my default wiring, if we want to call it that, is to look at this completed list and be like, well, shit, it's 10 o'clock. Like, and then my brain goes to, God, there's so much else that I need to do. There's so, right? Because now my double activated masculine SE, again, it's a demon, but it's still double activated and attached to my double activated play, is now just scanning the environment for who can I help? Who can I talk to? What can I clean? What can I do? What can I do? What can I go gather? Whose head can I bang on, right? It's scanning for shit to do in the external world all the goddamn time in a savior state. And again, because the masculine SE is going to be punchy as fuck about it. So my impulse is to look at this and go, okay, I'm not going to add shit to the list. I'm not going to add shit to the list because that's where I get fucked up. Because what happens is it's the old Mitch Hedberg joke. It's my favorite. You know what? I want to get it right. Mitch Hed. I want to get the joke right. Here we go. No, it does exist. I'm not gonna fuck up this joke. Here we go. Maybe it doesn't exist. No. All right. 10 more seconds. Fresh. Mitch Hedberg. Okay, so it's not showing up the official joke, but I'm gonna paraphrase this. Sorry, Mitch, if I fuck this up. Right? So he's like, you know what job I want? I want the job of the guy who names kitchen appliances. Right? Toaster, refrigerator. Mitch, what does that thing do? That keeps shit fresh. Well, then that's a fresher. I'm going on break. That's what sleep, right? That's what I feel like I just did. Where it's like, what does that shit do? That keeps shit fresh. Well, then that's a fresher. Great. I have done my job. I'm going on break. But in fact, I did 3 household chores that needed doing. I needed to buy groceries. I needed to unload the dishwasher so that tomorrow, right? So I got some dishes that are piling up in the sink. Oh, great. One of my tasks for tomorrow, load the dishwasher. Great. That's one of the things on the list, right? And so my sleep last brain has to actively resist the temptation and the urge to just do shit for the sake of doing it. And in particular, doing shit just because it's there to do and I see it. My meteoric rise and fall in the world of corporate America happened because I started working, again for my tutoring company, and they were more small businessy than like fully corporate America. But like when I started working for them, they were like an $8 million company, right? They were not nothing. They were not nothing. And then shit deteriorated over time, whatever. And so when I ended up stepping in, I was doing like little admin work here and there. I was like, I just want to be around. Give me an insignificant amount of money to just like be here. And again, it's not insignificant, but it was like minimum wage. I think it was, I don't know. There were days when I would only make like $30, $45. This was not like a full $15 an hour, 8-hour day that I was getting paid for, right? It was just, a couple hours here, a couple hours there. And I was doing curriculum work. It was 20, which is, again, that's fantastic money. But again, it was only a couple hours a day, right? But it was fine. It was great. I just wanted to be around. And so what ended up happening is that I would be like looking and scanning and searching for shit to do, for problems to fix, right? And I happened to be in a position and in a company where, oh boy, there was a lot of shit that needed to be fixed. And so I didn't have to, like, it's that old, like, you can't swing a cat without hitting a problem or two, right? It took zero effort to be like, okay, well, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Boss, what do you want me to start working on? Oh, you want me to fix the shipping issues? Great. Hey, D, can you give me those, can you give me the FedEx billing invoice and receipts from the last month? I just need all of February. Great. 20 minutes later, I was like, all right, boss, here's the problem. Here's the report. Here's the breakdown of this, this, and this. This is how much we're spending on overnight shipping when it is not strictly necessary. I cross-checked it with the this. So if we cut back on this and this, we'll actually probably save a good $200 a month. Just off the top, just not doing these overnight shippings. Great. That's the kind of project and that's the kind of thing where that's supposed to take like the day. Or that's like a project where it's like, all right, I am working on the shipping project. Okay, great. Let's consume, let's sleep on this, let's get organized, let's figure out what needs to be done, right? And like that's like I bypass all of that. But what that means is that I'll do a task really, really quickly. And then there's this weird disconnect of, okay, great. I'm just going to go home now? Well, if I'm being paid hourly, it is to my disadvantage, to work quickly. I am losing money by being efficient. And so I was like, all right, I gotta be salaried somehow, right? Except that doesn't actually fix the goddamn problem, because the problem is that I don't pace myself. Me being salaried, it's just there's no shortage of shit to do. And so my play blast crackheadedness is just running around trying to fix shit and do shit and make myself useful. And again, so much of that is because the message of make yourself useful, hustle, grind, stick with it, get shit done, that's not aimed at me. That is what I'm already doing. I don't need to crank that up, right? So what ended up happening is I fixed all the shit that needed fixing, and I fixed myself out of a job. Now, granted, I needed to leave New York anyway. I needed to get out of that environment. I needed to change so many things. So it really was like the best thing in the world that could have happened. But I worked myself out of a job because I just kept fixing shit until there wasn't shit to fix anymore. And then there was a new category because I fixed all of the physical stuff. I'm not a tech guy. That's not my wheelhouse. It's certainly something I could become if I wanted to put in the effort to become that, and I don't. Like, I really like the physical material world. That is my happy place. I love the physical world. Look, I remember an anecdote. Again, this ties into the masculine sensory. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because I think that it's really, really pronounced, this sleep last, in people who have double activated masculine sensory. People like me, Tony Robbins, Gary Vee, that archetype, it's really, really pronounced. So we are good people to look at when it comes to, okay, small doses of the sleep last, right? But I bring this up because I remember when I was a little kid, not even that little, I think I was like friends with him. So this would have been in like 90. Yeah, this probably would have been in like 97, 98. Yeah, there again, the masculine sensor, I needed to get the date right. Right, so I was like 11 or 12-ish at the time. I told you how old I am. And there was a project at my grandma's house that my mom, feminine sensory, wouldn't let me do. And the job was just shoveling rocks. We had a big old truck it was like a dump truck of rocks. We just had to scoop the rocks and just, lay the rocks down. It was going to take a couple hours. And she was like, no. He doesn't need to be doing that kind of grunt work. There's other stuff for him to do. Don't make him do that task. And the whole time I was like, but I want to do that one. Like, can I please just shovel fucking rocks? Like this, I'm not being sentenced to hard labor. This isn't the beginning of First Blood Part 2, right? Or Rambo's doing the, the hard labor. It's not what we're doing. It's just a little bit of grunt work. It just gets me in my body. Like, can I please do that? And again, so I was looking for all of these things in the physical world. Again, for me, my play, double activated, it's grounded, it's physical, it's present. There's a lot of that like masculine sensory just coming at you, right? Whew. Got a little warm in there. Anyway, but the problem is that it's hard for me to turn that off, much to my detriment. And what will happen is I'll just burn myself out looking for shit to do, and I'm never gonna be done. And that's really what sunk in for me with this quarantine. So it's funny, there was a great article about this, but then I found a blog post that was written 4 years ago that's even better about it. And it's called "The Dishes Will Never Be Done." And it's great. It was a Washington Post op-ed, but there's a blog post. If you Google it, you won't find it. If you use Bing to search for it, you will find the blog post. And it talks about, again, it's a religious blog, and it talks about we still need to attend to our daily tasks. No, the dishes will never be done. Nonetheless, when we need Jesus, he is speaking to us. And when he is speaking to us, the only thing we need to do is sit and listen. And goddamn, as a sleep last, someone with NF sleep last, and for somebody who is leaning more into his masculine TE of late and trying to soften up, feminize his FI, that fucking hits me. Like, oh, goddamn, does that resonate? And that's what I need to do, right? The dishes will never be done. You see what you look for, And if I don't turn off my play, I'm always going to see, you know what? That outside table is a little dirty. I could go clean that. Oh, the piano's over there. I could go practice the piano. Oh, you know what? I did not do the best job of vacuuming yesterday. And there's a dead fly because I opened the windows and didn't put the screen in, so I could vacuum again, and there's some crumbs there. And you know what? I really could go to the dry cleaner, so I do need to drop off that jacket so that it's ready for the fall, so that I can wear it. It's a really tough looking jacket too. I'm very excited. Again, I'm scanning my environment, and I'm sort of trying to show you and articulate for you what I am subconsciously doing all day. So let's do it, right? So I'm looking around like, oh, yeah, there's the stain remover, right? The steam cleaner that I got for my couch. I definitely could do that. Yeah, there's the resistance bands that I could do a little chest workout. Again, just looking around. Oh, the guitar, I could practice the guitar. I could tutoring books. You know what? I really could email those people and try and drum up some more tutoring business. Yep, there's my computer. Yep. Oh, I do need to grind and do my dailies on Elder Scrolls. Right. That's me consciously articulating and blasting to you what my default wiring feels like it's doing all day. And so what I've really had to learn in this pandemic is to really embrace the fact that the dishes will never be done, because that's just not how daily tasks work, right? You do the dishes. Dishes are part of your routine. And this is where the perspective really is important, and why it is important to cultivate. Again, for me, it's NF perspective. For my mom, I know when she talks about like getting perspective, for her, it's very NT, right? It's about her NE and her TI working together and seeing abstractly, as an ESFJ blaster. I think she is energy dominant to boot, right? So she has NT consume last. For her, getting perspective is very different, right? Whatever it means to you, that's really important. And to understand, again, for me, it's the dishes will never be done. The dishes will never be done. As long as I am living, I will be doing dishes. That's just part of the deal of being human, is doing the dishes and getting comfortable with the fact that, one of the things that my parents and I would do when they would come and visit me is we would always like deep clean our apartment together and give me that reset button. And I think about Queer Eye too, because that's really what that show is. That's what it does. The cosmetics they're fucking whatever. What's so powerful about that show, and what I think the real benefit is it's like somebody came in and just cleaned their apartment or cleaned their home. And was like, okay, you're getting rid of all of this shit. That goes, that goes, that goes. Start with 4 dishes. And with a lot of these things, like their houses are way less cluttered. Sometimes they will add things, right? If it's like a brand new space. But usually it's just, we just throw out all the shit that you accumulated and didn't like pare down in a sleep processing sort of way. And that's what, I would do with my parents when they would come and visit me in New York, because I was always so fucking stressed. We would just like clean, and I'd be done, and I'd be reset, and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to do it right this time. And of course I never fucking did. And now that I'm here and with the quarantine, again, I have more space here in LA, and I'm like routinely just so grateful for that. And really trying to make an effort to draw my attention to the space that I have and the gratitude that I have for that space, because I know that so many people don't. I certainly didn't for a long time. A lot of that was due to a limiting mindset. And there's a lot that went into this. But really just, again, gratitude before service. Gratitude before service. And really embracing that gratitude, and really embracing, for me, the way that manifests is in my NF sleep. And really, again, leaning into like the archetype of the double feminine NF sleep. Like that's really been hitting me lately of like, like my, in terms of like best and highest good, I really need to lean into the archetype of the feminine NI, feminine FI version of sleep, because that's where I'm really going to get just a lot of movement, a lot of leverage, a lot of growth, embracing that, the feminine, like the femininity of my truth as expressed in a feminine abstract way, and like really cranking the lever that way. And here's what that includes. It means looking at this list and saying, great, that was your list for today. Whatever you decide to do on top of that, in service of your NF, which again, I am audio, MF, feminine TE, masculine SE, which means I have masculine FI and feminine NI. I'm not saying that is not my type, but in terms of archetype and leaning into that, for me to access it, it's going to be a lot more helpful if I go for the double feminine NF sleep archetype, right? And if what I am doing externally is in service of that, great. Absolutely love it, right? If going out and doing something serves the goal of the NF sleep, or it's like, hey, ST, can you go do this thing so that I can NF better? Amazing. That's great. But the goal, like, great, we checked the 3 ST play boxes. You did that. You did that thing. And I have to practice just working the other muscles and not doing ST play bullshit for the sake of it. It's really, really important. And I want to end on one last thing, and this is something that's been weirdly hard and easy for me to grok. Hard and easy. The environments where I have thrived and not thrived have been super, super clear to me in the moment. And the only difference is whether or not I chose to acknowledge and to recognize that. So I'm going to run through a few environments that, for me, a Sleep Last with masculine SE double activated, some environments that didn't work for me. Musical theater. Didn't work. Didn't work. Couldn't do the work. Corporate job, corporate America type sort of 9-to-5 job. Couldn't do it. Can't do it. There's a version, I think, of the tutoring company, small businessy, like the running a small business thing that could have worked for me. It didn't work because of a lot of other factors. But that's, that ended up not working. And the other thing that I like really, goddamn, I've tried to do this so many times in my life, is the sort of like professional creative, whether it's stream. Kenton, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the channel. Yeah, there's a bunch of videos. So yeah, whatever you're looking for is probably going to be there at this point. So thank you. Hello and welcome. But yeah, but like the professional creative thing where it's like, yeah, I work about 8 hours a day, and I keep trying to get into like being a professional video game streamer. I just can't fucking do it. I can't do it. Same with music production. Same with, like proper YouTube doing things. This is great, right? So let's talk about things that do work. This fucking fantastic. I come on, I blast for 45 minutes, and I go away. Being on a film and TV set, oh my God. You want to talk about my goddamn happy place? Oh, it's amazing because you show up at very specific times. You are expected to give a burst of energy, and then you are not needed, and you are expected to just be findable. That's it. That is your only job, is that when other people need you, they know where to find you, right? And so what'll happen is when you're on a film set, background work is different. Can't do background work. That's very hard for me. But if I was speaking well on a film set, it's amazing. My job when I arrive is to just be in my trailer. Just be in my trailer. And then I will be escorted by a production assistant to hair and makeup. And then I have to be at hair and makeup. And then I am escorted back to the trailer. And then I do not leave my trailer until I am then further escorted to set. And then once I am on set, my job is to be in the holding area until I am called to do the filming. And then once I am filming, I am just to sit there, right? Hang on. Sleep Last, struggle with feeling enough when doing tasks sounds terrible. You're like, I don't know what to do. Might study. Yeah, maybe I'll just lay in bed. Yeah. Yeah, and there is a whole component of like using the play to fill the sleep void. Yeah, that's really tough. And like feeling like you're enough and like you belong and like you're contributing. And I think that there is certainly a cultural factor there at play as well, right? Like we have a very play-heavy culture. And so we encourage a lot of play. But we encourage play in a way to fill the void of sleep, which can't do. Doesn't work like that. But anyway, but back to the film set thing, right? It's like, it's very, very clear where I'm supposed to be. I give a burst of energy, and then I just need to be findable. Nobody is ever going to be mad at me on a film set if I'm where I'm supposed to be. Never, right? If I'm in the whole, again, there's a million production assistants, whatever, running around. So, if they're filming something else, if they're doing something, the first place they're going to check is he in the holding area? And as long as I'm in the first or maybe second, like if I'm either in the holding area or at craft services, right? I'm either sitting where I'm supposed to be or I'm getting food. As long as I am in one of those two places, nobody is mad at me. And so in thinking about those two things, I'm like, okay, what works about this? What doesn't work about this? What it really came down to, and I can make a whole video on this, but I think that this is a nice button at the end of this video. My greatest professional weakness is that I am absolute dog shit at humming along. I cannot hum along to save my fucking life. And I mean that quite literally. In order to preserve my life in New York City, that's all I had to do. All I had to do was just hum along. And then I'd do that day in, day out. Do that, the weeks accumulate, the months accumulate, the years accumulate, but I'm just humming along. I am so fucking bad at that. So bad at it. That's why I can't work an 8-hour day. I can't do it. The time when I was able to do it, there was a brief chunk of time from, it was roughly September 2016 into March of 2017. That sort of chunk of time. And I was able to sustain a full day's work. First off, it wasn't even a full day, right? I was paid a weekly amount of money to work 20 to 25 hours, right? And the expectation was that I'd just be there, I'd be present for, basically 4 to 5 hours a day, 4 to 5 days a week. That was the expectation. So but the only reason why I was even able to do that, which was sometimes a struggle, was that I really loved my coworkers. Oh my God, she was my boss, and then we sort of were at the same level. We didn't even dick around all day. Like we were by far the most productive people in that entire fucking office. And so we just made faces at each other. We would text each other things. We'd do a little bit of work, send a funny meme, go back to doing a little work. It was amazing. It was great. But the only reason why that worked is because I was just hanging out with my friends all day and then doing a little bit of work. But this expectation of you're going to show up and you're just going to steadily chip away at a thing. You're just going to be doing a little bit of work. No one's going to be checking on you. Just sort of plugging along on a thing. Day after day, week after week. I can't fucking do it. I cannot do it. It's very, 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 very hard for me to do. And now I've sort of learned, when I'm in an interview situation, when somebody says, what is your biggest professional weakness? It's that I can't hum along. I am very binary when it comes to my work. I am either literally doing nothing at all related to work, right? I'm playing video games on my computer, and I'm only doing that because I'm fucking chained to my desk and I can't leave. Or I am completely aggressively present and all right, let's fucking go. Let's do this thing. I love meetings. I'm a fucking master at meetings and it's funny that part of what inspired this is Shave's video from today talking about the audio modality. I say it's Dave's video because he was the one doing a lot of the insight into the MF modality audio. But and again, one thing that Shan said is masculine sensory types are so fucking here and present and like listening. And there's a real intensity to it. But if you are in a meeting with me, it's going to be the best fucking meeting of your life. Because here's going to happen. We're going to walk in and be like, what's up, guys? Bagels are over there. Juice is over there. Grab a bagel, grab some juice. You will find packets scattered around. Have a seat. All right, we're good. Great. So the quarterly projection for next year, for Q1 of next year, it's looking a little rough. We haven't been doing the same, and I'm just going to get right into it. I'm going to blast the information. I'm going to say, here's what we need to do. These are your marching orders. And if you have any questions, I'm available on email. All right, let's get to it. I'm going to be working on this. And then we're done. Meeting over. There's no dicking around. There's no, nobody is on their goddamn phone because you just can't be. If I'm running a meeting that you are in, no part of you wants to be on the phone, texting, because I'll just fucking call you out. But more importantly, you know that you're going to miss something because we're moving way too fast for you to be on your phone. So but that's it. It's a short meeting. And then we all go away. And then I go away and I just full decompress, right? When I'm doing interviews. When I was doing interviews, for 2 weeks solid, it was the fucking best because it was 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. And for those 20 minutes when I was on, I was fucking on. And then when I was off, do not fucking talk to me. Right? And that to me feels very not just sleep last, but my cranked up version of sleep last, which is, it's incredibly helpful in small doses. It's the ultimate thing I want in small doses. I feel like if you're like a consume sleep blast or a blast sleep consume, I fucking love my friends who are oh my God, if you're blast sleep consume, DM me, leave me a message. You are my favorite kind of friend. I fucking love you as a friend. But even if you're, consume sleep blast, very, very similar. We get along great. I can sustain you. You can sustain a relationship with a consume sleep blast sleep consume, right? Play last kind of person. They're fucking rock steady. Oh man, fucking love it every time. My sleep last, it's much more of a small dose, right? I am the God, this is the worst fucking example. I've used it before. I don't want to get into too many details because it's my favorite moment of the entire series of The Sopranos. It's the best scene, in my opinion, in the whole fucking series. But there was a scene involving sulfuric acid where there was a guy and he didn't pay the mobsters the money on time. And so he had a little bit of an encounter with some sulfuric acid. It's the best scene in the entire fucking series. It's the third to last episode. It's called Walk Like a Man. But I'm that, right? I'm the sulfuric acid, right? You don't need a lot of it to get the point across. It's real intense. It goes straight to the bone instantaneously. So you don't need a lot of it. That's what my sleep last is. And so I'm learning to be okay, great. This is extraordinarily effective. But if there's too much, it can be really, really corrosive. And you can you can overdo it really, really easily. And so I'm learning to not only find ways to dilute my own sulfuric acid energy and to find other things to mix sulfuric acid with to make it a little bit more distilled and a little bit less intense, to stretch it further, right? That's certainly a part of what I'm doing. But that's also not my best and highest good. right? Is learning to be able to go, okay, when do I need to bring in this intense sulfuric acid, like go straight to the bone kind of energy? It's exactly with things like this. Unload the dishwasher, done. Buy groceries, done. Take out the trash, done. Just fucking knock it out. That's great. And now I need to work on the other chemical compounds in me, in my lab, to be like, okay, so what's more sustainable? What am I doing for the rest of the day once the tasks have been knocked out? That's what I need to work on. That's what, like, once I can start to harness that and really work on that steady hum, now we're going to be kicking ass. Because now I have the sulfuric acid. And then I guess Drano? Drano can be pretty awful as well if you get too much of it. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about this analogy some more. But like something that really does sort of hum along, that's real steady, that's just chipping away at a thing. That's what my sleep last ass needs. So thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate your questions. Hopefully this offered some insight into what sleep last is naturally hardwired, if we want to call it that, like hardwired to do all day, every day. And sort of some of the ways that can be really helpful, really unhelpful. And if you are a sleep last, these are some things that, again, just to be aware of. Know that we have a lot of that straight to the bone sulfuric acid energy in varying degrees. And so our life's work is to figure out what is sustainable, what sustains us, what can sort of steadily keep us moving towards our goals, but maybe at a pH of 7.5, right? Like a nice 7.5, right? Not even an 8, not even a pH of 8, right? Because now we're getting into like lemon juice territory, right? We can't drink coffee all day. I got my coffee right here. I'm not drinking coffee all day, even though it's decaf. It's too acidic. Can't do it. But like, what can we sustain? That's what I need to work on. That's what the sleep last needs to work on. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.